All right, welcome back to Gridcrawler Steve. And today we are doing a Let's Read. I just came back from my local comic book shop, which is Hull Rat Comics, and picked up a nice sword and sorcery book. I really like this. The cover caught my eye. It is Conan 196. And yep, the cover definitely caught my eye. The condition as well. This book seems to be in really good shape. I only had about a half hour there. I was able to get through most of the bins. I was rifling through the bins as fast as I could. But the owner was nice enough to pull this book out for me. Supposedly the Conan books go quite quickly, he was telling me. We're talking the old Marvel ones here, not the new Titan stuff, but the older Marvels do go rather quickly. So that's interesting. I really believe there is a resurgence going on with sword and sorcery. So yeah, with this said, this is Conan 196. I saw Red Sonja on the cover. I thought, this is awesome. And of course, Isherwood. I saw kind of Geof Isherwood here. He's local to our city, and he's a local artist who goes to most of our, he's at most of our Comic Cons here, and it's nice to see a book that he was responsible for inking. And you could see the Geof Isherwood. You could see those heavy lines. Actually, I got to get my reading glasses on. I'm not appreciating this. Yes, those heavy lines. That is so Isherwood, and we got the heavy lines on Conan as well. That's absolutely a show. I just realized someone's getting squished here. And so what caught my eye is this Godzilla-looking beast. I mean, that's really interesting. So, yeah, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, and I thought this was kind of cool too. Our typical Spider-Man. In the bottom left corner, this is indicative of the whole, I believe that was Spidey's 25th anniversary, right? And so, yeah, this kind of marks an interesting time in comic collecting. We have Spider-Man's 25th. So I got the double tape. As you guys know, I always take off the Scotch tape, and I replaced that right away. Let me move that over here. I'm going to replace that tape right away with my blue painter's tape, which is not around me, but that's okay. I will be putting blue painter's tape across here. That way, in case I make an error and I accidentally touch the comic with the Scotch tape, it's not going to hurt it. Yeah, looks really good. It's odd little wrinkles there. Oh, I didn't see that. Look at those wrinkles. Look at the wrinkles there. Hard to see. You can't actually see it at all. But if I perhaps do this, look at that. Wrinkly, wrinkly. Crinkly, crinkly. Hey, that's okay. To me, it's all about the read. Okay, I'm going to be going through this one blind. Starting with page 1, the Beast. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. I'm going to enjoy this one page there, and I'll be right back. Right, pretty cool opening. This book is called The Beast. We got James Owsley doing the writing, and Val Semeiks. So I thought it was Isherwood. Turns out down here we see that Isherwood is doing the finishing, so he's probably doing the inking, but pencils, like the actual artwork here, is coming from Val Semeiks. And quite the opening. The colors are really nice here too. I like that, kind of the pinks and the yellows and the cold blues in the forest. Pretty cool looking. But yeah, we've got dinosaurs here. We still have the animals, but also dinosaurs. This is somewhere southwest of in Koth. So I'm a little confused. I'm not aware of dinosaurs ever roaming the Hyborian Age. So yeah, we'll kind of see where this goes. Andy Kubert, by the way, I just noticed that too. Andy Kubert doing the lettering, so I guess that's his work there. It's nice, the Beast. But Andy Kubert, he later on moved on to Ka-Zar. The 1997 run of Ka-Zar is Andy Kubert, so this is pretty cool. It might be one of his earlier works in a comic. M&M's. Boy, did the packaging look different back in, this is what, 1987. Packaging looked quite different. Interesting. Love that artwork. Okay, I'm going to enjoy these 2 pages. I will be right back. All right. Well, pretty interesting here. We open up to a prehistoric scene on page 2. And I love this opening. He's a grim and mighty warrior from an ancient race, a stranger in a strange land. That would normally be Conan, right? Usually we see Conan opening up the Conan books as that mighty warrior, but in this case, it's the dinosaur. And the lure of civilization intrigues him, and I guess our dinosaur friend is off to civilization. He's off to the nearest city. I guess something has intrigued him to head into the civilized world. The artwork here is incredible too, like Isherwood. That looks so good. I believe this would be more Isherwood on the inking, just because of the way it's textured here. But this dinosaur looks somewhat ancient. It looks almost leathery. That's a really nice panel. That's really nice. And so yes, over to page 3, some leagues distance. This might be the civilization, I guess, our dinosaur is heading towards. But we meet I guess this guy's like a sentry, I guess. And he doesn't want to let this mute citizen through. She can't speak. She can't hear. Oh, she can speak. She can't hear. Oh, she's a deaf mute, so I'm not sure what's going on here. But Kiev, our hero here with the parrot, is able to communicate with her. And I guess this catches our sentry by surprise. How were you able to do that? I am the master of languages. So this guy knows every language, and somehow Kiev was able to understand her and speak to her. Alright, next page. Don't know who any of these characters are. Oh yes, so we got Oreo cookies. Those look good. Alright, gonna enjoy this page. I'll be right back. Okay, page 4. It's a little mistake. I mentioned that this character's name was Ken. Kiev. I misread that. This character's name is Ken. Ken was the one who was able to understand the language. And here is our sentry on watch, and his name is Kiev. So my apologies. A little bit of a mix-up there. I misread both of those names. And trouble is heading their way. We've got these masked riders. I really like the purple. Purple usually represents trouble in these sword and sorcery comics, like a dark purple hue. Trouble is on its way. Let's Let's take a look. Look at all the ads. Ads. Wow. All right, off we go to page... There's a lot of comedy in these later Conan books. Okay, enjoying this, and I'll be right back. Yeah, some nice light comedy here before. I guess it's almost like slapstick style comedy before things are probably going to get serious. We learn these are the Hyrcanian riders. They've come right through, and poor Geof is right away in this first panel nowhere to be found, but his buddy Ken has taken position on the high chair. And we see Geof has been knocked over by these horsemen. And so yeah, let's interesting. That's things will most likely take a serious tone. Aha, here we go. We've got whoa, wow. Enter Conan, and I will comment in a moment about his arms. I suspected we might see this. It's those large muscles that Semeiks is known for. He typically draws, and I'm gonna actually take a moment here. I'm gonna go back a few pages just to see, do we see evidence of that? I mean, he's got the skinny arms for sure, but the warriors in his books typically have the massive arms and big muscles. We see that in Ken as well. Okay, gonna enjoy page 6 and 7. All right, the man has entered. Here is Conan, and yes, Semeiks has done his traditional large muscle, broad shoulders. We see that a lot in the Semeiks comic run. We learn here through the dialogue that Conan is now in the service of a rebel prince, Prince of Koth. So I guess that's why he's here. That's what has brought him here. I always wonder that. Conan's an interesting character. Every time he's in charge of an army, or he's, you know, somewhere in Hyboria, I'm always curious what brought him there. There's always something. So in this case here, he's in the service of a rebel prince, the Prince of Koth. And he's acting as a military officer. And I guess what we're seeing here, yes. Yes. We see that, I don't know his name, Freja, is suggesting that Conan is illiterate, and Conan agrees. We get a bit of an illiterate joke here. Yeah, he's kind of being mocked as this illiterate Northman, but he leans right into it here. He's saying that this illiterate Northman will carve his name across your gut. But I may need a few tries to get the spelling right. That's great. And we get the gulp. Some nice work here. This, I believe, is page 7 now. This is great. I think this is going to be more Isherwood's work. It might be Semeiks as well. That's probably actually more Semeiks, because I don't see the additional line work being added. Yeah, it's probably more Semeiks' artwork. But a nice technique here. We've got a more detailed front row of the military. And then as we get further along in the back, it just becomes less detailed. But it gives the impression of like hundreds if not thousands. Yeah, I shouldn't say thousands, but we definitely see hundreds of men here. Yeah, and these are Freja's men. Nice little shot of Conan, side profile. Okay, so we got Freja here. We've got Conan, and Freja and his companion aren't pleased. They do not like that they've got what they call a rogue here, a rogue in charge of his army. All right, off to the next page. Another ad, no kidding. Tang, oh brother, I remember that stuff. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, well, we're changing location. Right. All right, we've left the military compound to find ourselves in, I don't know, it looks like, well, it's deep within the forest. It almost looks like an Ewok village. You know, I wonder the timing, right? This is 1987. I wonder if Ewoks, the movie, was out. I wonder if there was... Anyway, it definitely looks like an Ewok village. This is kind of your weird fantasy, I think, right? I think we're probably going to see the dinosaur in a moment. Yeah, this scene is kind of taking us away from traditional sword and sorcery, and kind of gives a different, almost like a weird fantasy feel to the book. We learn of Bakht, I think I'm saying his name right, B-A-H-K-T, Bakht. So he was a former ally of Conan, but now is an antagonist. I guess they've had a falling out. His rage is quite high. Look at this though, he reaches in his pouch and he's taking a sniff of some kind of herb or something. That's really interesting. And again, we've got the purples here. Purple typically meaning, right, again, there's some magic or some evil presence at play, and of course that's our antagonist. And the pages close with Bakht saying sweet Mitra. And why is he so surprised? Oh, I was not expecting that at all. Oh, look at this, Robotech, the role-playing game. Oh yeah, I like that. The artwork there is pretty cool. Color's cool too. Okay, that is what I was not expecting. I thought the dinosaur was going to make his appearance. So what's going on here? Okay, well, or Bakht. I mean, I thought he was going to be dealing with some dinosaurs, but no. He's just met the Devourer of Souls. Nice work here. I like that inky look. Yeah, that's Semeiks. That's really nice. Isherwood doing a bit of line work there as well. That looks pretty cool. And I mean, check this out. This is Semeiks again. And we've got Bakht looking so small compared to the Devourer of Souls. That's really nice. Shows how powerful this guy most likely is, how dominant he is. That's great. Nice close-up here. And he's come to make an offer that you shall not refuse. And what he's saying here in his ramblings is that my substance is made of loathing, trembling, weak-willed men of this world. So he's not here to like devour the men. He's here to acquire their souls and the weakness within men. That's what he's here for. That's what feeds the Devourer of Souls. Oh, I thought we'd see a dinosaur there, but we do not. Okay, and then we're flashing back. All right, I'll enjoy these 2 pages. All right, we are back to Conan, and I mean, look at Semeiks. Look at the size of Conan. He's the size of the horse. I think that is awesome. Um, I'm not overly familiar with Semeiks' work on Conan, but I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on his later books. You know, I believe he's around that kind of 200, around the 200s there. Most of that is his work, so definitely going to keep an eye on that. Yes, but Conan, they're traveling through the town. And this is interesting here. He is, our narration says he is a grim and mighty warrior from an ancient race. He is a grim and mighty warrior. Didn't we... So somewhere in the southwest of Koth. He is a... Yeah, there it is right there. There it is. He is a grim and mighty warrior from an ancient race. So I don't know, like, is it possible? Here's a Devourer. Like, is Conan the dinosaur? I mean, he's old here. I think he's old anyway. Actually, these are Conan's younger days. Yeah, I think Conan's yet to be king here. It is a younger Conan. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe Conan is the dinosaur, but we're definitely getting a repeat here for Conan's entrance to this town. He is a grim and mighty warrior from an ancient race. Interesting. And the two come across Kiev, who is left... I should say Kiev, it's probably pronounced Kiev. He's left his post in search of a flask of wine after being knocked over by those riders. But he tells the two, Conan and Conan's a colleague here, that Conan's staff has been stolen. The staff of the foot slave of the elder gods. They've made off. It's most likely the Hyrcanians, have made off with the staff. But just as the conversation is about to end, a scream is heard. Conan, we see him looking over quickly. Is this going to be Red Sonja? No, it's going to be a dinosaur. So there is a dinosaur. Look at the size of that thing. Crom, what a beast, he says. Oh no, is that it for our dinosaur? I mean, it looks like Conan has, yeah, Conan respects the dinosaur. Easy, old warrior. But Conan, I guess body slams the dinosaur and puts him to sleep. The beast sleeps. Leave it alone and let it die with dignity. That's it. That's the entrance and exit of our dinosaur. Okay, I'm gonna enjoy the panels here a little more, and we'll move on. Yeah, that's fantastic. I took some time to... Actually, I'll show this off here. Oh, you know, I wonder... Am I able to show you guys... Let me put the book back. I should have put that back before. Am I able to show you... Oh! Except it's really going to be hard. Actually, that's not bad. So, this is strange, but this is an old magnifying glass from turn of the century. It's probably over about 140 years old. It is from China. It's got a jade handle. It's kind of weird and all ornate. Trust me, the look... Let me actually put this down for a second so you can get a better look at it. The look of this thing didn't impress me by any means. But why I bought this from an antique store was the glass. The glass is, I mean, it is concave there. Like, I'm not doing it justice because everything's on an angle the way I have my camera set up here. But my goodness, does this ever display the pages well? I found with modern glass or with the modern magnifying glasses, which are all plastic, it just didn't do justice. The panel would show through. I'm gonna try to get the dinosaur in there. Look at that. Now, unfortunately, I'm getting glare from my. Look at that. That's Isherwood right there. That's fantastic. But only I knew eventually that I had to source a older magnifying glass. I was looking for kind of antique ones, military grade, whatever. I tried a bunch of different ones. I'm shocked. Even in the ones from the 70s and 60s, the quality was just so poor and they were scratched or dirty. But then I came across this, and the glass, like, look at the size of the glass. It is incredibly thick. And does it ever do well with these comics? So yeah, so a lot going on here. The dinosaur. By the way, I made the realization while I read this panel. This is like, what do they call those things? I can't remember their name, but like the duck-billed dinosaur or whatever, right? This is a herbivore. So fair enough. I guess, it's still, you don't want one of those running through your town. Fair enough. But like, I mean, that's not a meat eater, nothing like that. I would have expected like a Tyrannosaurus Rex or something, or raptor or something like that. Anyway, we get a very gentle, duck-billed dinosaur. And this scene here, she screams as she grabs her child and runs away, and the look of fear on this guy here with the purple tunic, it's pretty awesome. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Conan does the body slam, but he gives, easy old word. There's respect, and I think we see that respect. I mean, he's the, what did they refer to him on the previous page here? The grim and mighty warrior from an ancient race. They're both referred to as the same grim and mighty warriors of an ancient race. So there's almost this respect for one another. Leave him alone, let him die with dignity. And now, so we'll find out what happens more with this dinosaur. I'm intrigued. I mean, that's a very quick exit. What is that black mark there? Interesting. But Conan, the closing panel here, is rather telling. Yes, Geof, the person who stole my staff, was it by chance? Did she happen to have red hair? Oh my, could it be? Okay, I was hoping we'd get some Red Sonja, but it looks like we're going back to that Devourer. Oh, and there's a flashback to Savage Sword of Conan number 90. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to enjoy the page. I will be back. Wow, so a lot going on. A lot going on in this page. In these two pages. By the way, it's been a couple of hours. Yeah, I think it's only, 28 minutes into this video, but it's been a couple of hours for me. I had taken a few breaks. I just had some dinner. Nice and full now. But let's take a look at what's going on here. So the Devourer of Souls, he harbors a deep hatred for Conan, and the reasons why he despises him so much are back in Savage Sword of Conan number 90. He's saying his physical strength will outmatch Conan, but that's not how he wants to conquer him. He wants to break and devour or destroy his soul. And we see the results of the Devourer of Souls against our comrades' party. This dark Pegasus is just awesome. I didn't realize that. The second time going through though, wow, that's pretty cool. And and it looks like the Devourer of Souls wants Backed. That's who his name is. I was trying to recall his name. Backed. He wants Backed to receive the power to join him. And so he feeds him a worm to give him that power. Not sure why the Devourer of Souls needs backed as, you know, as like maybe he wants him to fight for him. We'll find out more. But this panel itself is pretty wild. It's for Marvel Comics, for the 80s, seeing this whole kind of body horror. Now, it's not truly body horror. We just see the worm, which is like illuminated and all bright. But we see Back's face in the background, almost like it's being split into two. That's not what's happening, but it certainly looks that way. Quite the horror. A horrific panel. If we go back, do we see contrast here? Oh yeah. Yeah, these Conan books are always about contrast. It's like every page you turn, something new's going on. So prehistoric time, barbarian. Turn the page, mysticism, horror, gothic horror, weird fantasy, body horror. Pretty wild. All right, flipping the page. Oh, and look who finally makes. Oh, look what she's got in her hands. She's got a stash. Okay, gonna enjoy this page for a second. This is great. So Conan decides he's got to track her down, and it doesn't take very long. Conan finds her right away, throws that dagger. Throws that dagger, and she catches it right away. Hello, Conan. It's been a long time. And she's saying, look, if you want your staff back, the ugly staff, what is it called? The ugly totem, she calls it. If you want this back, you're gonna have to fight me. So this is the typical relationship of Red Sonja and Conan. Throughout pretty much the entire Marvel Conan run. They bicker, they fight each other, they still respect one another from the way they're able to as warriors. But they're like an old divorced couple. They're always bickering, complaining, and fighting one another. And so right away, here she goes. She's egging him on. Let's fight. If you want this staff back, we're gonna have to fight. Really cool. She's not in her chain mail. That's interesting. Now she is currently in this role. She's the Hyrcanian. She is a. I don't know if she's leading the entire Hyrcanians, but she certainly is like a. Let me see if I can find what she's doing here. Let me quickly read through it again. So she's a mercenary leader. So she's actually in control of a group of mercenaries from the Hyrcanian army. But I guess it's that new role that puts her in different attire. I don't know if blue has something to do with the Hyrcanians. Let me just check the cover. Is she also in blue? Yeah, she is. Looks like they're going to be working together to defeat that poor duckbill dinosaur, which I'm going to have to look up in a sec so I know its name. But yeah, are they going to battle first? Let's take a look here. So clearly this is later on. I mean, she's looking rather weathered here, and older. So certainly this is later on. But yes, I'm going to enjoy this page with the older looking Red Sonja. Be right back. So yes, so Conan doesn't really care about the staff after all. Don't really know the history of that staff. We probably learned more about it in the earlier issues, maybe 185, 184. Whoops. I mean 195, 194. But poor Sonja, he says, keep the staff for all I care. She says, oh, gee. He's in one of those moods. This won't be easy. That explains that kind of facial expression. She's looking pretty tired already, like she doesn't want to deal with this. So they decide to put the staff back in Conan's tent. Sonya then tells him, look, you really shouldn't be working for Freja and his men. The fact is that Emperor Strabonus has hired Red Sonja to slit his throat, but clearly Sonya will not see that through. Instead, we see a little bit of, like, I don't know, almost like some flirting or romance between the two. So she's like, look, I'm not gonna backstab you, but I do know, what does she say here? I do know a elder statesman who keeps a fabulous treasure hidden in a secret chamber. We can be there in a fortnight, she says. And typical sword and sorcery, right? The treasure, the gold always appeals to the barbarian. And his response is, Sonya, I always did admire your thinking. So they have respect for each other, almost a bit of romance here. Hard to say. She's kind of whispering in his ear. Look at that. She's playing with his hair, for crying out loud. Isn't that funny? Oh, and look at these comic sets. Oh, I always mean to look these up. Let's just see if there's anything that stands out. G.I. Joe's late. Would Hulk have been around this time? 181 or whatever it is for Wolverine. I think I got that number right. No, I'm not really seeing Hulk here. Oh, it's not even in alphabetical order. Oh, there it is. Nope, Hulk 300. Wow, I was way off. Yeah, I guess 181 must be early 80s. Yeah, I was way off there. Oh, Peter Parker proposes. Possibly. Find out in Amazing Spider-Man 290. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Okay, so we're back to the village square. Ah, yes, and it looks like our dinosaur is going to wake up. And Freja wants this dinosaur removed. He's like, it doesn't matter what Conan's orders are. I do not answer to him. Oh no, they're gonna go, oh no. So Freja has set his men to kill the beast. Only for Freja and his comrade to say, oh no. So let's move on. I mean, this page, things are going rather quickly here. That's really nice work. I think the dinosaur, my favorite panels so far are the dinosaur. That black Pegasus was pretty cool as well. I don't know about Sonya there. I'm not too sure. This black Pegasus was pretty neat for sure, but it's kind of a one of. So the this dinosaur, I mean, the work, the detail is just fantastic. All right, back to back. And he ends up eating the worm. Now you are mine, the Devourer of Souls says. I will multiply your strength tenfold. Oh my goodness. Again, flipping between the contrast of the brighter, civilized town, which is currently, influenced by some prehistoric dinosaurs, right over to, again, our body horror, gothic horror, weird fantasy, mysticism type pages. So, you will be deadlier than ever before. You will break the Sumerian spirit, then you will devour his soul. So, now we know what the Devourer of Souls was after. Not after, but why he wants back to help him. It's, of course, to go after Conan. And oh, I think we're gonna have a battle. So we see Kiev running once again. That seems to be the thing this guy does. And he is, Conan asks him, what's wrong? And wrong, that's wrong. I think we're gonna see a dinosaur at toe. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's an awesome full page. That is so gorgeous. He's a grim and mighty warrior from an ancient race, a stranger in a strange land, and now he is at war. I think we're talking about Conan here. That is great. And what's really unfortunate here is don't dare miss the shocking conclusion next issue, which is 197. I think that's where we're going to see a little bit of the battle between Conan, Sonya, and this now this angry duck-billed herbivore dinosaur. But what is unfortunate is I looked this up. I think it was League of Comic Geek. I don't know where I looked it up while I was in the shop. And this was supposed to be a standalone issue, a standalone story in one issue. That's a little upsetting. I will have to now seek out 197. I don't have 197 in my collection. But I'll have to look for that then and see how this ends. An interesting story, a combination of again, it's the contrast between all the pages. We got that gothic horror, mysticism, the weird fantasy, and then you flip the page, sword and sorcery with a sprinkling of prehistoric vibes, given that there's dinosaurs roaming about. I'm still terribly confused about that dinosaur. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'm not sure why dinosaurs would be roaming the Hyborian Age. Maybe that is a thing. Maybe that's something that happened in these later... House 2, by the way, fantastic movie. Such a classic. Oh, look at that. Oh, geez, Dragonlance. Yeah, 1987. These TSR books were pretty sweet. And I think I got... Well, at least I got one of them here, just kind of sitting randomly. I got my Kender, Golly, Dwarves, and Gnomes book. Classic Dragonlance stuff. But yeah, I remember this is the magic of Kryn. Oh, that's so cool. Love the artwork too. Oh, that is so good. So this was a great book. Really like it. The pages in this book are great. You can see it in the video. Nice, bright, white pages. I think my favorite panel, this one right here, this whole page is just so freaking cool. It is so neat. I'm gonna try. I gotta get better at this. I just think that's so awesome. And that's definitely Isherwood at play there. You know, we got the pencils for sure by Semeiks, but I think Isherwood's doing the finer details there. Okay, awesome. Well, hope you enjoyed the Let's Read. That was just kind of out of the blue, a Conan the Barbarian 196. It fits into my Conan collection. There was a huge void around, I think I got up to about 181. Then my next issue was like 220 or something. So this one sits kind of nice in the middle, breaks up that large gap that I have. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the read, and stay tuned, subscribe for more Let's Reads in the future.